I just wanted to do a quick video today about supplements and why they can or cannot be dangerous. So one of the things to know about supplements is that it is exactly what it's called. It's supplementation. So if you are not getting something in your natural daily diet, then you would supplement that. So those would be things like calcium, B12, things like that. You know, if you're doing a specific diet, then sometimes it is recommended to use, you know, iron supplements or what have you. And those are typically in a pill form. But a lot of people ask about pre-workout, BCAAs, protein powders, things like that. What is important to know about these types of products is that they are not regulated by the FDA. The FDA actually knows that they're going out on the market, but they are not allowed to say whether they are safe or not, or whether the labels on the back are actually legit. Like whatever is in this container is actually what's here. And so that can be a little bit scary when you're going into a place that sells these products and you're really not sure what's safe and what isn't. So one of the things that you can do is look online at the specific products and see if they're actually backed up by a third-party company that does check for what's actually in it, the process, the packaging, all of those things, and if it's safe. Also, sometimes, and this is any food label, sometimes what's actually in here is not on the label because, and even the FDA does this, if it's more or less than 5 grams, so give or take 5 grams, then they don't have to report that. So if something says 0 grams of fat, carbs, whatever, it could actually be 5. And so that is really important when it's talking about caffeine. So pre-workouts are typically caffeine. This is the Ghost brand, and it makes me just go through the roof, and I do not take this one. But it has the calories, carbohydrates, everything in it. But the caffeine or the caffeinated supplements that are in here may or may not actually be what's in here. So you just have to think, and you know, if you do decide that you want to use something like a pre-workout, you may want to go with something a little more natural, like a cup of coffee or, you know, green tea, something that's very natural that you know exactly what's in it, instead of something like this. So there is also amino acids, which are building blocks for muscles, so comes from protein. And I don't use these products anymore, actually. I used to, but once I learned a lot about them, I kind of slacked off a little bit. They do still exist in my cabinet, but I haven't used them in a long time. Aminos, I feel like, definitely restore your muscles, especially after a really hard workout, or if you're lifting, then these will kind of fill your muscles a little bit and make you less sore, or that's kind of the claim anyways, and then it helps to build your muscles as well. Protein powders, they are not created equal. There are different kinds of protein powders. Some are very strong and concentrated, and some are not. Some have a lot of flavor. Sorry, that's my dog. Quest has a lot of flavor. Gatsby, it's okay. And then this one, so they claim to have like less sugar. I don't typically buy that because they're very sweet. This one is actually like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch kind of knockoff. So they are yummy, and it's 20 grams of protein, but if you're getting the protein that you need in your diet, then you really don't need a protein powder. A lot of athletes will take protein, like drink it right after they lift or right after they're going through their training, just to get that protein into their muscles quicker. Because when you drink it, your body can absorb it a little faster. And so whether that works or not, that's up to research, and I've read a lot on that. Like I said, I used to do this, but I don't anymore. And actually, if you are very lactose intolerant, like I am now, you can get a vegan protein, and this one actually says that it is certified by a corporation, and I'm assuming this is one of the third-party companies. So these third-party companies actually don't look at the products until after they've been out on the market. So that's also something to think about as well. So when you go into any kind of store, you should really look at the product itself, look it up, see if it's regulated. Something that's super alarming about the FDA not regulating these products is that they only look at it and pull it off the shelf if someone has been hospitalized or if there has been a death because they've taken the product. So there are still products on the shelves that could be potentially extremely harmful, and no one knows it yet. So again, you just have to be very mindful about the products that you're taking, if you trust them, who is promoting it, because I know a lot of young fitness influencers, if you look on Instagram, they don't care whose product they're promoting, they're getting paid and they look good. And so whether they're intaking these products or not, they're getting paid and they don't care if it's going to harm you or whatever. So you should really speak to your doctor before you take any kind of supplement at all. Because sometimes supplements can counteract with each other, and then that can be an issue as well. One last thing about supplements. So for a lot of athletes, and if any of you are, thinking about at some point competing for something and you would have to get a drug test for it, if you are taking supplements and you have to get a drug test, a lot of times performance enhancing drugs will show up on the test even if you've only been taking supplements. So you really don't know what is inside of your supplement, and you go to do some sort of contest or race or whatever and you have to get tested, then performance enhancing drugs may show up in this stuff. I know I've heard of a lot of horror stories and have read a lot of articles about athletes who, they're ready to go and then they take their drug test and then they're crushed because they didn't realize that there were performance enhancing components in the protein or whatever it was that they were taking. So just a heads up about supplements, guys, if you're ever curious about taking them or if you think you want to start taking them, just make sure you trust the company and you know exactly what's in it, and you look it up and get some reviews and read some articles about anything. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it wasn't too scary, but it is the hard truth about supplements. So I'll see you in the next one.